Alright, there was a ton of info in the MCOC live stream, and most of it is like regarding the future champions of this year. And I'll be honest, in March, we're either going to get Better Ray Bill or we're just going to get Troll to the maximum. And I feel like there's still in between. So that's going to be a really fun time to decipher. But yeah, there was like a lot of hints given for the next champions until July. Plus, we have the Winter of Woes as well, which is like the new Summer of Pain, I feel like. But here are the hints for the next, few months for champion releases. In March, we have the Blank and the Blank, and it's a cosmic and mystic character, and it's also Asgard themed. So my guess is Better Ray Bill and Enchantress. I feel like it could be the Beauty and the Beast, and the Beauty is Enchantress, and the Beast is Better Ray Bill. But then there's like, some really oddball picks, like for example, Ulik or something for Cosmic, because he's also like a troll, right? So he's also a beast, and he's also like from Asgard, or like he's in that like area. So there are a lot of possibilities, but I feel like it has to be Better Ray Bill. I feel like we're just so overdue for this champion, and if it's not Better Ray Bill, then it is just the biggest troll ever. But I want to see Better Ray Bill in the game so badly, and I feel like this is the best time to do it. So if it's not Bill, then we got trolled, right? But for the Mystic one, there are a few options, but I feel like Enchantress does fit the bill the best, and I want to see like how she turns out too. But I think all the hype has to go to Better Ray Bill because he is just one of the most wanted characters in the game by far. And if it's actually him in March, then it's gonna be so hype. So yeah, Better Ray Bill, please let it happen. But then we have April, which is Change the Blink, and it's science and tech themed, and it's also multiverse based. So my guess is okay. So my guess, like at first, was kind of everywhere, right? But then they said this month we'll have champions with very similar names, and then that gave me one idea, which is Iron Spider and Spider Punk. But then I checked the Reddit, and I saw that this person kind of had like a big brain idea. They said lizard and wizard. Now, lizard is science because obviously, right, he is a lizard, and wizard is tech as well. So that fits the bill for the classes, right? Multiverse, I don't necessarily know because I think wizard can be a good fit for the multiverse, like part of that, but lizard is kind of an oddball pick. But I think that can be a possibility for sure. And if that's true, then the hype is just off the charts, right? Imagine getting Better Ray Bill and Lizard like back to back. And I think Lizard is like honestly just as popular, if not more popular than Better Ray Bill. So yeah, that is just insane if it is true. And Wizard I think is pretty cool as well. But of course there's also the possibility of Spider Punk and Iron Spider. Iron Spider was teased a very long time ago, but there was nothing for like 3 years or something past that very, very small teaser. And Spider Punk was a Summoner's Choice loser, and he had some popularity when it first started, but after the movie came out, there's just so much attention on this character. So I think that either one is a good pairing, but personally, I want to see Lizard and Wizard because I want Lizard in the game finally. I think at this point, Spider Punk deserves a spot too, but I think Lizard, it's just time for him, right? I think Spider-Punk can wait a little bit, and Iron Spider is also a really cool character, but I think he can also wait a bit because Lizard, I think he should have been a 2015 champion, right? He is just that popular. So this one is so up in the air, but then we have May, and May is this is my month. It's either my month or just the saddest month of the year for me because it is a skill and a mutant, and it is Mercs or Money themed. So this is Orca or it's not. And if it's not Orca, then probably we'll never get him in the game. So this is pretty much the one chance for Orca. And for my predictions, Orca all the way. I have to. I can't not say Orca, right? I have to say Orca because that's my only chance for Orca. But you can say Silver Sable, which probably is the correct answer, but I'm gonna stick with Orca. For the mutant, I have zero clue, but I think that there is a chance, right? But now we have June, and June here is also pretty interesting because it is an Alpha Flight month, and it is an Alpha Flight mutant character and also a tech villain. So my guesses are either Puck, Snowbird, or North Star. I think all these characters are pretty cool, and I feel like they all have potential for sure, especially Puck, to be honest. And I feel like, given the roadmap and like the state of the battle roadmap, I think it's most likely Puck, so that'll be pretty cool to see. And for the tech villain, I have either Bastion or Arcade. Arcade, I think, is gonna be like insane, right? Like that'd be one of the most hype releases ever because of how the character works. It's like Mojo, but even crazier. It's wild stuff, but I want to see Arcade there, but I feel like Bastion is the correct answer, and I think like Bastion himself is also like a really, really overpowered character abilities wise. So I want to see both of these champions, but if I had to pick, I want to see Arcade and I want to see Snowbird as well. So I hope it's that, but it might be Puck and Bastion too. So we'll have to see how that turns out. But either way, exciting releases, right? And then we have finally July, my birth month, so that's pretty cool. And I think I'm in for a treat on my birthday because the champions for July are going to be Science and Skill, and the theme is Prison Break with a touch of Gamma. So I think this has to be the leader, and I think the leader is such a hype release also because just like, you know, power level wise, this guy is at the top. He is such a crazy character, and I want to see him in the game. And if he comes out on my birthday, that's going to be crazy stuff, and I really want to see that happen. And for the skill champion, I honestly have zero clue, but J Axe did say Patriot, so I'm gonna just, you know, roll with that. I think Patriot probably has to happen eventually, so I think it's gonna be like Leader and Patriot maybe. But yeah, those were like all of the narrative roadmap hints, and I think that all the months look pretty cool. But if Orca actually does come out, and if we also get like Arcade plus like Snowbird too, the potential is just off the charts, and I really, really, really want to see like Lizard and Wizard too. So all that aside, March can be better a bill, which is just so hype, right? But now we have some Everest content here, and this is called the Winter of Woes. So it's pretty much like Summer of Pain, but with much better rewards. And here's how it, like, you know, functions. One fight every 2 weeks, energy cost of 5 per node, but it's like, what, 2 energy for the quest, so it doesn't really matter. Final month is all 4 previous fights, plus 2 new fights, and there's 2 paths, and the first 4 fights will have 2 Paragon objectives and 1 Valiant objective. So yeah, pretty much same format as Summer of Pain, and Summer of Pain I think was really well done, and the rewards for it at the time were insane. And guess what? The rewards for the Winter of Woes is also pretty dang sweet. But yeah, the format is pretty straightforward. I'm glad that they stuck with like this format because I think you shouldn't mess with like stuff that's already pretty good, right? But here's the schedule. Fight 1 on February 7th, Fight 2 on the 21st, Fight 3 in March on the 6th, Fight 4 on the 20th of March, and the finale is on April 3rd, and it runs through May 1st. So yeah, we won't see the final like quest until April 3rd, which is a long time, right? But I think having it every 2 weeks is fine because it's like a seasonal thing and it's every 3 months, so it does make sense. But you know, it might be a bit painful waiting all that time for like the final quest, but thankfully there is one massive change here that is going to make the waiting a lot less painful. So let's get to that right now. So these milestone rewards, last time it was you know, you got the last milestone and that's it. That's how it was for Summer of Pain. But with Winter of Woe, you get every single milestone, and that is just massive, right? Because having like all these rewards combined, it is insane stuff. So you have some tier 6 selectors, right? You have 4 25% plus 3 full ones, so that's about what, 4 in total. Really good stuff there. You have one tier 6 basic and one tier 3 alpha for every milestone, so that is, let's see, 9 in total. Pretty good stuff there as well. Then you have some shards, right? You have some 6-star shards at first, then it goes to 7-star shards, then some tier 2 dust, but then you have some titan shards, and these titan shards are massive, right? Because it equals 20,000 for Valiant players, but not only that, you get a Deathless King group piece, and also there is one thing on this list that you might notice pretty much immediately, and yeah, it is 7-star signature stones, which is massive, right? The first time ever. We've never seen these before, and they are in the Winter of Woes. So that is just so hype, right? That is honestly incredible stuff. But not only that, there's also a ton of tier 4 alpha fragments, and I mean like a lot, right? I think the total is 1.5, which is just wild stuff. So the overall rewards for this piece of content is just insane, especially for Valiant players. So if you're not Valiant yet, you have to push for it. It is just so worth pushing for. Like, you get a whole extra tier 4 alpha, you get a lot of titan shards as well, plus 7-star signature stones. It's worth it. I think you should push it for sure, and it's so worth getting it, especially because Valiant with the daily crystals is already worth it a ton. So that's like my thoughts on that. I'm excited for not only the new champions, but also this new piece of content. Plus, they said that there's gonna be a seasonal like pain thing for the entire year. So yeah, that's just so hype, right? But overall, I am so excited for like the future of MCOC, especially in 2024. So let me know your thoughts on the upcoming champions and also like the Winter of Woes as well. And yeah, that's about it for me.